Hello, everybody. My name is Michael Buchanan. Tonight I'm talking about Chapter 3 of Now Discover Your Strengths. So I just got done looking through and reading the chapter, and it really started off with how to identify your talents. And basically, the way that they kind of explained that was, there was a group of people on an airplane, and your reaction is your talent, and it kind of shows what kind of person you are when you're in the face of stress, or how you react right off the top of your head. And if a plane is, falling out of the sky, you tend to see who reacts in some way. And it kind of shows who they are on a certain level in the time of stress. And I was just thinking about that, they elaborated more. That was an extreme example. They elaborated more into how, at young age kids need to develop these. Well, they need to identify and develop. But they were talking about, like Picasso and like Mozart and all these other people that started their talents at a young age, and how they identified it early and they hopped on it. It showed them, if they're called yearnings, yearnings, and it talked about just how like these kids, have these talents, and they hopped on at a young age and they just rode them, they rode them on out, and it talks about the ways that you can develop this and then identify it for yourself. I know all of us haven't done that yet. I mean, obviously a smaller group of the population, like more like the 1%. Identify these talents, and then people over time recognize and develop them and end up being successful. Everybody's running their own race. It doesn't have to be done at 10 years old. It doesn't have to be done until like you're 60. They had examples of that, of a woman, she had to take care of her family, and she had to neglect her talents to provide for her family because her husband was an alcoholic. But she was one of the best writers in Great Britain up until she died. And anyway, just seeing all these examples of these talents and how they come off the top of your head, and using these to your advantage, I kind of thought about like how I use it in my life. I get previously explained in class. A small business in Louisville, Chp3, I picked up when I was 15, and I realized early that I like talking to people. I like to make people try to feel good about themselves, and I try to provide something that makes people happy. I like to make people happy. It makes me happy. I guess some people call that codependence, but I've learned over the years, as I've gotten a little older, I used to feel like I couldn't be happy unless someone was happy. But now, recently, as I'm starting to get on, I'm starting to develop that talent of separating that you can always make people happy, And that what I do in my business is I make people happy. I bring people together. I bring people, like, they have a horrible day. They come together. They come to my place, and they're going to be greeted with a smile. They're going to be greeted with a, how was your day? Or how are you doing? Instead of a $2, thank you, have a great day. I greet them. I welcome them. I want them to feel that they're special, because they are to me. And they're here, and obviously there's a great price. It's a very cheap price. And these people come, and I feel like I have this talent with this, and I'm still crafting it every day. I mean, there's days where I feel like, why? It seems like no matter how hard I smile, no matter, how kind I am, how much I be myself, people just don't like me. But we just have to continue to hone that talent with, not everyone's going to like you. That's just the fact. We talked about that in that video in that class one day, the man on the projector. But I use that talent because I like to try to make people's lives easier. That's what I want to do. And that from this chapter, that kind of took that out of there. I kind of took find your talent. I believe mine is I can bring joy to people's lives. I'm going to try to do that in any possible way I can. Because everyone, this world's bitch. It kicks you every single day. It kicks you down. And, it's nice to have someone there smiling at you and telling you, asking you how you're doing, and that you hope you have a great day, and gives you something that you can enjoy for cheap, That's just one talent that I think I possess. You know, it's allowed me to run my business for 7 years, and we were only open 3 months at a time. So the fact that we made it 7 years with only 3 months of operation at a time, and grown our clientele, our market base, tells me that there's something there, you know. And of course I'm in school, and so once I get out of school, it's really on, and now we can really see, you know, what we can do in 6 to 7 months, because instead of 3 months, it's actually breathtaking. I love it, you know, what we do. You know, I put myself through school. But that's an example of using the talent, and I'm looking to hopefully this talent gets me to the top, gets me to where I want to go. My long-term goals of having a business that runs itself, having a business where everyone knows what it is. You know, my goal of my business is to know when you go to Big Mike Shaved Ice, you know that you're gonna have great service, you're gonna have a great product, and you're gonna have a great time. Those are my 3 things. You go to Chp3, it's my pleasure. That's one damn thing they make sure of. They make sure it's my pleasure, and they make sure you get some pretty good chicken. Pretty simple, right? I've read books that are like, oh, you need to make things complex, and these things need to be complicated to make all these things. As long as you're focusing on the customer, and you can see what you can do for other people, money will come. How can you make somebody happier? How can you make someone's life a little bit better? How can you turn someone's horrible day and make it maybe just a little less horrible? And I think if you can do that, you're gonna have unlimited success, and you know, of course, the money will be there. But that's not why we do it. That's not why I do it. I mean, obviously, it's a huge reason why I do it. But what really gets me going is to see that people react and have positive reactions. And so from this book, to tie it back all up, I think you have to get on that talent early. Everybody's different. Mine's off the wall different, you know? And I think that this book really gets you thinking on, well, what do I got? You know, what do I got? What can I do? And I think you can go out there and think of what you can do. It doesn't have to be in a business. It doesn't have to be in anything. It can be literally in anything. It just applies to your situation, right? So anyway, that was a good chapter. I like how what they talked about of finding those talents and honing those talents. It's a lifelong journey on that. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.